Hey y'all, it's JPS Delvers. Girlfriend's sick again, so I'm just trying my best to keep it quiet. But it's just going to be a couple minutes before I start this next game. So far it looks like Stephen Curry and Kyle Lowry, Damian Lillard are three top guys leading the East for All-Star voting. James Harden, Kemba Walker, and Chris Paul, top three dudes. In the backcourt, it looks like, at least for the Western Conference front court, you got Giannis, Kevin Durant on the Spurs, kind of cool. And then Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. That should definitely be interesting. Jokic on the Grizzlies. You're going to have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and I got Cat on my team. Definitely well in place. I mean, he's getting a lot of blocks, but my team's not that good. We'll look at statistics so far. Curry's definitely leading the league in points per game. Top rebounds is DeAndre Jordan. For assists, you got Eric Bledsoe leading the league on the Wizards. Steals per game, Kawhi Leonard 3.6. That's just insane. It's so insane. Giannis is right next to him, and not only that, Giannis is also averaging 3.4 blocks per game ahead of Porzingis. So that's very, very interesting. In the top turnover guys, actually Kawhi, doesn't appear to be Westbrook, but one of the best three-point shooters. I mean, there you go. Curry's leading the league in points. It's pretty interesting so far. But the thing is, with my team, look at this, 9-20. It has been a terrible start. This team has had a shitty start to the season. I think it's the defense has given up quite a bit of points. But we'll have to see. Look at how many losses this was in this month. I started off like 4-13. It's gotten better since, but we're going to have to see exactly how it's going to pan out. But I'll be playing the Bulls, who are also terrible. It's Blake Griffin. I don't know who's on this team as well. It looks like Blake Griffin and Jason Tatum. And Enes Kanter, who just went to the Blazers. That was interesting. But, yeah, this game should be interesting right here. But as always, y'all, I appreciate the support. I'm going to keep it up as my best. Y'all just keep it up. Keep the love up. I appreciate it. The new subscribes lately and stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And as always, be thankful, and I hope you all enjoy the video and be grateful for everything that comes to you. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. I'm joined.
We're live, the home of the Chicago Bulls, the United Center. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. And before this game gets going, let's send it.
Well, Kevin, he acknowledged that the...
Thanks, David. And Chris, at the midway point of the season, are teams worried about peaking too early? Is that a real concern for teams?
Yeah, you know what? I've never understood the phrase peaking too early. I never understood what that meant. You're supposed to try to win every game you can. There's no such thing as perfection, so you'll never peak.
Great way to put it. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Conley out there with Heel. Then it's Nance. Then there's Towns. And it's G in at the small forward position. Conley kicks to Nance. To the paint. That's in there. Conley with the assist.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Dragic kicks it to Bazemore. And And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Dragic gets the bucket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
That defense was awful. That was just pathetic. He should not be that wide open right near the bucket.
Shot from 16. Makes a big high bounce and goes in.
That's a mix-up by the D on that play. Not many guys you can afford to leave all alone from mid-range. Lucky for the defense.
Towns, a screen on Dragic. Conley kicks to Towns. A three-pointer off the mark. Detroit on D. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
I mean, you can say it. The defense was awful. They took away nothing and got scored on relentless.
The Bulls have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Bazemore passes to Griffin. Cantor against Towns. Pass to Jay. There's a screen by Cantor. Just 5 to shoot. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Not really nice there. Poor technique on the screen, but savvy scoring move to save that trip down the floor.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Now here's Bazemore. 14 points from him the last game against Milwaukee.
Don't forget, he also racked up 3 steals. He showed terrific anticipation and heart on the defensive end.
Chalk up 2 there.
So versatile, always pushing the action offensively.
For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Kicks to Griffin. There's a screen by Cantor. Bazemore with it. Outguarded by Hield. Cantor. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. The Pistons leading. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
You can just feel the sense of optimism for this Pistons roster from fans of Detroit. You knew they would be improved, but I'm not sure how many expected a playoff appearance as early as last season. They're just brimming with talent.
And there were some dark times for the Pistons over the last decade. In fact, a 6-year playoff drought from 2009 to 2015 that demonstrates that well.
Well, yeah, and that 6-year drought was tied for the longest in franchise history. It's not just that they have good players, it's that they have good young players. The rebuild that this team went under is still happening, but they appear to be way ahead of schedule.
Come to me.
Dragic kicks to Griffin. Looking to end the run. He can't hit that time. And Detroit the other way now. Outside Conley. Here's Towns. Another 3 for Detroit.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Oh, well, that's a solid play and basket right there, and the lead continues to grow.
Picked by Griffin. Bazemore for 3. Nance with the rebound.
After having the 3 buried in his face, he wanted so badly to get back at him. A little payback. He just couldn't get it done.
Bulls trail by 8. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Passes it to Cantor. Here's the 3. Detroit with the rebound. Towns has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Shot by Hield, nobody around, and Detroit again with the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
You just have to admire the versatility they were able to display offensively.
Oh, yeah, everything, the passing, the shooting, really got into a good scoring rhythm, and the defense did nothing to take them out of.
Mason Plumlee's checked in for Chicago. Berea comes in for Goran Dragic.
Everything he is throwing up has been off. He needs to find his groove, and then soon.
Down low. Here's Towns, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. Brandon Bass is checked in for the Bulls. Primetime comes in for Kent Bazemore. For Detroit, they have missed both of their free throws tonight, 0 for 2 so far.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season. Nice touch there near the hoop.
Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
I mean, they've really owned this game so far. Dominant performance all around from them.
Now the pass to Primetime. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Primetime's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Conley dishes to Heel. And there's another one for the Pistons.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
To the inside, here's Bass, and the shot goes in. Bass has got his first basket.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Conley kicks to Nance, and the jam by Larry Nance.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Well, they came to play today. It's still too early, but they really have put their foot down on their opponent so far.
Over in the corner, Conley. His first shot coming late. Towns. That shot off the mark. And the Bulls going the other way now. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Well, yeah, they gave up a ton of open looks. As the shots kept dropping, the place just kept getting louder.
He tries for three. Offensive rebound. And G has it in the corner. Towns the screen. In the corner, it's Healed. Conley for three. Here's Towns. Persistence pays off. They finally hit a shot. Towns has got 12.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Pass to Primetime. Three-pointer. The Bulls keep it alive. And that one drops.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Nance a screen on Barea. Conley the pass to Healed. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got his fifth assist in this one.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That's his first foul. Ingram, he's checked in for G.
Brandon Ingram.
Ingram comes with the double team. Here's Jay. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. 6 points for him. Pistons leading by 13. Towns wide open. Another three for Detroit.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And here's Barea. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Milwaukee.
And he also drew a lot of fouls, forcing the defense to react to his aggressive style of play.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And the dunk by Towns.
And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
Well, and as a result, their field goal percentage has been very solid. A really admirable job done by them so far.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Count the basket. Primetime's got 5.
Oh, he's shooting a fantastic mark from the field to begin this one.
On the wing, Nance. Down low, deflects the pass. Plumlee with the steal. Bulls shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. And he can't get the first one.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
And he sinks the second. Here's Healed. Up in time. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. So as we end the first quarter, Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And Stephen Clark, Pistons pretty much in control here.
I tell you what, the scoring has come in threes for the most part here so far.
Yeah, and at some point, you think the defense would extend out and try to run these guys off their spots, or at least make them shoot a little earlier than they like.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Pistons, they've got Trey Burke. She is out there with Portis. Then it's Ingram. And it's Shumpert in at the 2 spot. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, it was controversial in Chicago, but the Bulls hired Fred Hoiberg to replace Tom Thibodeau. Hoiberg played for a decade in the NBA, and at Iowa State, he was the fastest coach in school history to reach 100 wins. In Chicago, guys, it seems he's loosened the reins a bit, giving the players a little more leeway to shoot with confidence and air it out offensively.
The players have responded. Thanks, David.
The knowledge that Ingram possesses, well aware that the D is going to hack him in these situations.
And Brandon Ingram out of Duke, drawing comparisons to Kevin Durant like KD. He's very rangy, very lanky for a perimeter player.
Yeah, and Ingram around 6'10" in shoes with that 7'3" wingspan. I mean, he's still, light weight-wise, much like KD was when he came in the league. Still, you don't see many small forwards with the standing reach of a center.
Bulls shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
Puts up a 3. The shot misses. And Detroit the other way now. At one point, they led by 16. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them. One thing the Bulls have to deal with that is unique to their franchise, Greg, is an extremely high expectation factor from their fan base.
And when you have a rich franchise history like the Bulls, it's a double-edged sword. Fans can always look back at the great years in the 90s, but they'll always long for a return to those days, and sometimes the expectations can be too much.
On the wing, and that one's good. Burke. Bulls trail by 9. Dragic kicks to Griffin. There's a screen by Kanter. Lots of room. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dragic has got 3 assists in the game. The dish to Ingram. Pass to Portis. Now here's Ingram. He's guarded closely. Basket good. And the Pistons lead by 9.
And the passing of Ingram, setting up his teammates and distributing the ball, effortless.
That shot by Griffin, no good.
Excellent D to force that miss there. That took real courage to risk being on the poster, being he's one of the best dunkers in the game.
There's the feed to Dragic. Pass to Jay. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Off the pick. Rebound by the Pistons.
The defense got super lucky there because he does not miss many of those.
And Shumpert slams it in.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Chicago calls timeout. Chris, throughout your career, you spent a lot of time down low on the blocks, and we're seeing less of that now. Those post-ups that were such a primary option when you played in teams' offenses. Does that concern you? Is that good or bad?
It's concerning from this point. Kids aren't being properly coached in the middle school and the high school level. Kids don't know how to play on the post. When you look back through the history of this game, whether it's been guards or big fellas, the post is not about how tall you are. The post is about how the closer you are to the basket, you usually have an advantage. And if you have game, then that pump fake game down there work and get you to the foul line. And if you are a good passer, then it draws the double team. It changes the angle that the defense has to look inside and play. It helps slow the pace down sometimes in the playoffs when the game gets tough and a little bit more physical. And we can say that everybody's changed their game, but only one team wins a year. So, you know, I don't know if the trend is necessarily not there with big guys not in the post. When I look at guys like Drummond, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, Horford, Jordan, Zebo, the Gasol brothers. It's still a lot of post players out there, so I don't subscribe to that opinion that it's less on the post. I just subscribe to the opinion that maybe coaches don't want to coach that way because guys have post game. We just have to see if the game will change. But small ball right now is what everybody loves.
Great perspective. Towns. It's good, and he drew. Contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. And the Pistons making a change here. Conley's checked in. The Pistons have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
Now, this team at times on the floor can remind you of the 2004 Pistons and how they play. Very unselfish, defensive-minded, and playing for one another. No big star, but doing what they can to get wins.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
They set the pick for the 3. Here's Towns. No good on that one. Great D that time from Griffin. To the inside. Here's Bazemore. And it's Ingram with the rebound. And with that 2004 Piston team, Chris, you mentioned, that was the last title the franchise took back to Detroit. What a team, too, led by Ben Wallace.
Well, you talk about team basketball, and they pulled off one of the bigger upsets in the NBA Finals history when they dismantled the Lakers team stuffed with future Hall of Famers. They played the better team ball and were able to overcome Kobe and Shaq with GP and the mailman.
Chicago making some changes. Plumlee, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Primetime comes in for Jay. And Barea subbed in for Goran Dragic. Dishes to Towns. And Shumpert kicks to Portis. And that one drops for him.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Kent Bazemore. Fields checked in for Detroit. Chris, there's such a difference between creating offense in transition against finding looks when things slow down. What are the keys to finding consistent offense in half-court sets?
Well, one of the keys is patience. I mean, you have to have patience. Move the ball side to side so that you can move a player laterally. It's harder to move laterally than it is north-south. And secondly, you have to attack the defense. Where there's one guy, attack him. Hopefully you will draw help. And then you pass. And the guy that you pass it to, he doesn't have to shoot. He can wait while the defense is retreating out to him and move the ball again. So ball movement is secondly. And then thirdly, I think it helps where you rebound. I think you know where the shots are coming from because you can anticipate. And so I think it's just patience and ball movement that helps in half-court sets.
That's an excellent point.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Count it. Towns has got 7 now in this quarter.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Now Barea. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. No good on the triple.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Griffin with the steal. Feeds to Plumlee. Outside for Barea. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Blake Griffin, really, it seems like he's been a superstar since the day he stepped on the floor here in the NBA. I mean, you know, those posterizing dunks over defenders, always making the highlight reels, and clearly one of the most exciting big men in the league from a talent and marketing standpoint. You know, a little bit of adversity followed him over the course of last season. Let's see if he can bounce back and become a true leader on this team.
You were shocked when he misses open shots like that. The D should be thanking their lucky stars right now.
Here's Primetime. A three-pointer off the mark. Pistons leading by 14. Towns kicks to Portis, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass? And just a much better job of attacking and getting to the line here in the second quarter. Didn't have a single attempt in the first.
Barea with a wide open look, and again, no good by Chicago. Here's Ingram. Hits the target from 18 feet. Ingram's got 4 points now in the quarter.
What a phenomenal pull-up jumper from Ingram. Forcing the D to honor his quickness and then making them pay with that sweet stroke.
Barea with it. Bass with the screen. Barea dishes to Griffin. It's good. Griffin's got 8.
Well, after not making anything from the field in the first, I mean, he has really elevated his game this second quarter.
Conley kicks to Towns. He feeds it to Ingram. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Pistons lead by 20.
No stopping Ingram when he's in a rhythm like this, especially when he gets a pass in a spot he loves to pull from.
Barea kicks to Griffin. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Barea's got 5 assists tonight.
Oh, he has put forth an outstanding effort on offense this quarter. He will need to keep it up if they really want to cut into this lead.
And the call will be against Primetime. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Good on the second free throw. 16 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Now here's Barea. He kicks it to Griffin. Just 3 on the clock, and the Bulls tack on 2 more. Conley with the 3. No good, trying to beat the... And so a pretty lopsided game.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided. What a start it was for Karl Anthony Towns. He ended up with 24 points, 6 assists, and a monster amount of rebounds. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, we have to talk about the unbelievable job they've done rebounding.
That'll do it.
Welcome back to the hustle and bustle of Chicago. A time-lapse view of all the traffic heading toward downtown. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
He's just been terrific. This is what they needed from him.
Earning a double-double for the night is awesome, but doing it in one half, he is out hustling everybody.
They've got Enes Kanter. Dragic is out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Griffin, and it's Jay in at the 3. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Conley, the pass to Hield. 6 to shoot. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Chicago ball. Bulls trail by 17. Outside Dragic. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. There's a screen by Kanter. Jay, the pass to Kanter. And it's good, 2 points. Kanter's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Great movement on the play. Creates the size mismatch down low.
Towns, the screen. Conley kicks to Towns. That 3 off the mark. The Bulls shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them.
And really, you got to commend the Bulls for the success they've had in the draft. If you look at that roster, you see a ton of big-minute players who were drafted by the Bulls. They've done a great job of finding players to fill roles within that team.
And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the 2-hand slam. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And here's Conley outside. Bazemore grabs the miss. And with the Bulls and their draft success, a lot of it has come with picks, Greg, later on in the draft.
Yeah, the last lottery pick the Bulls had was Derrick Rose. Not a bad one there.
Yes.
But since then, they've drafted or made trades on draft day to find a ton of rotation players. Give a lot of credit to their scouting department for their continued success.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Mike Conley, the point guard, keeps a very stoic disposition on the court. He said so much of the game is mental, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to be good at. Never let your opponent see that you're in duress. So if I make a big game-time bucket or if I miss a shot, you'll see the same mannerisms. I move on to the next play. A real poker face, Kevin.
I like that attitude, D.A. Thank you. Griffin. And it's in there. Griffin's got 14 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
On the wing, Nance. Baseline jumper, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet. And the Pistons lead by 14. Now here's Bazemore. He's tightly guarded. He dishes it to Griffin. To the middle, pulls it up. And the rejection by Towns. Kicks it to Heel. The three. And Cantor pulls it down. For Chicago, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Outside Dragic. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Picked by Griffin. And Bazemore kicks to Griffin. Wide open look. The shot, no good. And the Pistons now going the other way. Conley with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Inside. Here's Towns. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. Well, folks, tonight a great rebounding game we're watching in progress. And now, with that in mind, let's take a look at the all-time record for rebounds in a single game. How about Wilt Chamberlain with 55 rebounds back on November 24th, 1960.
And guys, that's one of those records that always seemed to me impossible to break. I mean, in the modern era, nobody's even sniffed that 55 rebound mark. I mean, heck, a lot of teams don't get 55 rebounds in a game, and Wilt's owned it since 1960.
For 3, Detroit, no good that time either. Bulls trail by 14. Dragic dishes the Bazemore. Back to Dragic. Griffin passes to Dragic. They get it back. And Enes Kanter again. Kanter's got 6 in the quarter.
He truly has that unique blend of passion and skill. Does major damage on the offensive glass.
Dragic against Conley. Healed. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
The defense took a big risk leaving him wide open and got lucky. He clanked that outside shot.
And modern NBA defenses have changed pretty dramatically since the league stopped enforcing man-to-man as the only strategy. What do you see from that change?
I see from that change guys kind of losing their skill one-on-one, having to score because they aren't used to playing against true defenses. I think sometimes it's a cop-out for the defense. I think the NBA is a different league. I think the NBA are the best players in the world, and therefore you should be able to guard your man one-on-one. I think that rule may have been put in place so that coaches can hide defenders on their team that can't play defense, but yet still keep them as an integral part of the team on offense on the other end. So I'm definitely not a big fan of it, but hey, it's a rule, and if I were a coach, I'd definitely use it if I saw fit. But it's just so hard to rebound on defense, so easy for the offense to rebound because you can't see. You have to communicate that much more. But hey, if you're playing against a team that is shooting the lights out and you want to stop penetration sometime, that may be the way to go, but not a big fan of the zone.
Like that. And Nance kicks to Towns.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
This will be his 5th trip to the free throw line.
An 89% free throw shooter puts him right there among the league's best from the line.
One area the Pistons will be working on this season, Chris, is their play off the bench.
The Pistons bench has improved over the course of last season, but it was still an Achilles heel for them at times. They just didn't have the scoring punch off of the bench. And a lot of that was related to not having a playmaker leading the way for the second unit.
Nance a screen. Here's the lob to the hoop. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Jay. Off target from outside.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Here's Burke. And it's Chicago with the rebound. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. The rebound by Nance. Pistons leading by 7. To the paint. Here's Towns, and it's sent back by Plumlee. But they'll get another chance. And here is Ingram. 7 points in the game. Shot clock at 5. Second chance shot. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Chicago has gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Connects from 3-point range. James. Got 13 points.
I mean, he was great in his last game. Clearly, he has not lost that love and feeling.
Not at all. You can tell his confidence is really soaring as a result. He wants the ball in his hands any chance he can get it.
Portis, he's checked in for the Pistons.
There we go. That was your lovables. Give him a hand. Come on, Chicago.
Here's Ingram. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. And it goes down 2 points.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
And the pass to prime time. Good, and it's Perea who picks up the assist. 11 points in the game.
He has to take that wide open 3, even though that's not his bread and butter.
Now Burke, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And he's good on the 3 ball. And that's now 10 points for Brandon Ingram.
And when Ingram is left alone from deep, his eyes light up. His shooting is just out of this world.
Perea. It's rebounded by Portis.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Such a wide open look. Burke's got his second bucket tonight. Bulls trail by 9. Plumlee sets the pick for Perea to the middle. And Plumlee gets it to go on the assist by Perea.
Not really nice there. Poor technique on the screen, but savvy scoring move to save that trip down the floor.
And here we go. Fast break. Perea's got it. Here's Jay. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And now just a 5-point Piston lead. Ingram with it. 10 points for him. They set the pick. Pass to Burke in the corner. Nance with it. And he's way off from outside. The points coming in bunches as we... Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. The Bulls shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. Ingram is out there with Nance. Then there's Burke. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Portis in at the 5, roaming the paint.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Blake Griffin.
Now here's Ingram. There's the dish to Burke. There's the pick. In the corner, Nance with it. Nance with another miss.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
A shot by Griffin. Nobody around. That one rolling around and rims out. Detroit leading by 5. Baseline Jay on the way. Burke can't get it to go.
That's the kind of shot you want him to take every time. He just happened to miss that time.
And that one drops for him. Bazemore's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Bulls. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Nance passes to Portis. To the middle. Here's Burke. Dragic with some nice D.
If he can find himself out there, his team will be in fantastic shape to get this win.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And that one misses. He hits the second from the line.
And right now at about 85% from the line, that's up from where it was in that first half.
To the paint, Ingram with the steal. Burke kicks to Nance. Comes up empty down low.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
And it's Dragic with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Left side, Nance. Inside. Stolen by Cantor. And here's Bazemore. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Dragic kicks to Cantor. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. That's 12 points for Enes Kanter.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
On the wing, Shumpert. Pass to Portis. Second chance shot, and the shot goes down.
An entire tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
Well, the defense is slacking big time, and it's probably mainly due to fatigue. Both teams could use some subs.
Plumlee with the screen. Dragic dishes to Cantor. Detroit with the rebound. Nance has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Shumpert gets a wide open look. Hits the jumper in space. And it's a 6-point Piston lead.
Terrific ball movement. No surprise it leads to a good shot.
Here's Bazemore. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
They set the screen. The feed to Shumpert. And he overshot that one, missing. Bulls have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Dragic kicks to Plumlee. There's a screen by Cantor. Passes it to Griffin. To the inside. Puts the move on. And Cantor with the lay-in. Good. Now just a 2-point Piston lead.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, trying to find their rhythm. It's a chess match, a constant back and forth of in-game adjustments.
Jay's checked in for Plumlee. Detroit also making some changes. Towns comes in for Larry Nance. And Hield subbed in for Ingram. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Dwayne Casey just going over the game plan with his team down the stretch. He knows his team is struggling tonight from the three-point line, so he told them to go for more quality shots inside. We're shooting way too many threes, he said. No more Hail Marys. Let's get inside to the post. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Outside, Dragic. Dishes to Cantor. And it's Chicago scoring again.
What a total 180-degree turn here. He wasn't making anything in the first half, but he looks like a totally different player now in the second half.
Here's Shumpert. It's good. The assist that time from Burke. That's 12 points for Amon Shumpert.
Nope. Not how Coach drew it up, but I'm sure they'll take it.
Griffin kicks to Dragic. Feeds it to Cantor. Again, Chicago.
He has come out strong to begin this half and has really found his stroke.
Healed the pass to Portis. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his fourth foul of the contest.
He now has 4 fouls. Oof, only 2 left to spare.
Michael Conley. He's checked in for Burke. Conley kicks to Portis. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. First free throw is good.
And one difference this half is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Bulls trail by 6. Outside Dragic. He feeds it to Cantor. The jump hook. And the rejection by Towns. They get it back. He goes up again.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Here's Conley. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And that one falls for Mike Conley. He hits both from the stripe. For Chicago, they've gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Picked by Griffin. Dragic kicks to Griffin. And he can't get the first one. That one is no good.
They're not doing themselves any favors with their free throw shooting this half.
Heel dishes to Conley. He kicks it to Towns from deep. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. 35 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Chicago calls timeout.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis and get away from the sloppy fouls.
Dragic kicks to Griffin. Shot to stop the run. No good from Dragic. Detroit leading by 11. There's the triple. Conley's shot is off.
Shocking, he bricked that one. That shot usually is money for him.
Dragic the pass to Griffin. Baseline jumper. Tries again. Here's Cantor. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. First free throw is good. Chris, when you think about what you've been able to accomplish throughout your life to this point, aside from your NBA career, what have been some of your most fulfilling experiences?
You know what? I think are my charities. I think working with people in the cities that I've played with and in my home of Detroit and trying to help and give back in some of those ways. I think sports-wise, of course, is high school titles, playing in college with my boys. And personally, in the art-wise, I would have to say being a producer and producing 2 songs for Nas, one of the greatest rappers that ever, walked the face of this earth. And so being able to produce 2 songs.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. There's a screen by Cantor. Down low. Not going to go that time. Towns with the defensive effort. Conley kicks to Towns. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Towns has got 41.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
I mean, yeah, they just have not been able to offer any kind of defensive effort tonight. Embarrassing.
Griffin's shot is off. they can take their time on this possession.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just give themselves a little bit of a break.
And the foul on Kent Bazemore. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
Chris, in your playing days, you suited up for both the East and the Western Conferences. Traditionally, we've seen the Western Conference be the stronger of the two in the last couple decades. But do you feel that has a chance to change, or are we in the midst of that changing now?
No, we aren't. Nothing's changed. But I tell you what, LeBron being on that East Coast for so long has really helped in that regard.
Yes, great point. And he comes up with the deuce.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for Detroit.
They made more foul shots, and that was the difference.
That was a big advantage. The other team was defending with their hands instead of moving their feet, and they handed them a lot of easy points at the line.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season. And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Towns.
Man, he just had one heck of a game. He gave them an almost unstoppable option every trip down the floor. They asked a lot of him tonight, and he did not disappoint.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
That's his first personal foul. Third team foul.
And the first one at the line is good.
Going to travel. At the line for the Bulls,
And he makes both free throws. 8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Towns a screen on Barea. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And in the win,
Thanks very much.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns, a man on a mission. He came out torching the Nets and just never cooled down. Obviously, his monster first quarter had a big impact on tonight's outcome.
Unbelievable, man. And when this guy's got it going on like that, it's a pleasure. I mean, just a pleasure to watch him play.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny...